Hello, everyone. Welcome to the introductory evening for the MYOB Digital Challenge 2024. This is the second introductory evening. Today we'll just be the agenda for today is that we'll be going through some things in relation to MYOB and themselves, introducing ourselves, the team that is running the competition, then going through some advice in relation to the case and solving the case and what the competition is really about. I'll start by posting a raffle in the chat. So it's a Google form, so just please enter your name and then you'll be in for the raffle that will run at the end. Sweet. My name is Omar, and I do a Bachelor of Engineering and Bachelor of Commerce at the University of Auckland, and I'm the team lead for the MYOB Digital Challenge for 2024. Ja and Devika, would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Hello everyone, my name is Ja. I study B Sci and a BCom at the University of Auckland. I'm currently a fourth-year student, and
You're on mute, sorry.
I'm still on mute. Can you hear me?
Devika, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. I'm Devika. Nice to meet you guys. I'm doing a BCom, majoring in finance and economics. I'm in my second year and I'm a manager on the MYOB Digital Challenge team.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay, great. Hello everyone, my name is Ja. I'm currently a fourth-year student studying Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Science at the University of Auckland, and I'm one of the members of the team. Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you. Next, Shylon will introduce himself, and he is the Education Manager for MYOB.
Thanks, team, and great to see so many of you on the call and so many that have participated this year. So my name is Shaylin. I'm the Education Manager at MYOB. Basically, what that means is that I hold the relationship with all our education partners across Australia and New Zealand, and have been working with the University of Auckland Case Club for the last 10 years. So one of the big things about this year is that we are celebrating a decade of student innovation and creativity. And as a result, an extra bonus is that the prize pool for this year's MYOB Digital Challenge is $10,000. So MYOB as an organisation has been part of the fabric of doing business in Australia and New Zealand for more than 30 years. So we've grown from our status as Australia's first unicorn to become a trusted and leading business management platform. We provide solutions to a significant portion of the region's small and medium-sized businesses. So we really help businesses that anywhere from 0 to 1,000 employees, and our purpose is to help more businesses in Australia and New Zealand start, survive, and succeed. And in terms of our work within the education space, we recognise the importance of providing the next generation of accountants, bookkeepers, business owners, technology specialists, decision makers with the knowledge and the opportunities to help them achieve success. And that's why we've partnered with UACC, institutions across Australia and New Zealand to provide tools, training, competitions, anything that we can to help everyone on the call enter the workforce job ready. So, yeah, look, from me, appreciate you guys participating and joining the session today. I think it's going to be really helpful for you going forward. And there's a number of opportunities or things to take advantage of to help you as part of the competition, which the team will obviously share with you.
Thank you, Shylon. So a little bit about MYOB and the different things they offer on their accounting platform.
So, as I said, we've evolved from just accounting software to a business management platform where we help businesses focus on 6 key workflows and those tasks within it. So highlighted on the screen, you've got your customers, supply chain, projects, employees, finances, accounting, and tax. And as I mentioned, you've got businesses from 0 to 1,000 employees. So not everyone will have employees. Obviously, those businesses just with 1 or 0 employees, won't need to take advantage and invest in that part of the platform. Same with other areas. If you don't have inventory, for example, then you won't need inventory management functionality. So we've evolved to be able to provide, in a sense, a one-stop shop where most of the functionality a business will need is in our one platform, and therefore you won't necessarily need to go further afield in terms of other technologies, other software to help manage these workflows and the tasks that fit in there.
Sweet. Thank you, Shalin. We'll quickly talk about what the MYOB Digital Challenge actually is. So the MYOB Digital Challenge is a challenge that fuses business and technical analysis and driving real-world solutions for small businesses and business problems within Australia and New Zealand. And how this is done is through 3 things that we will provide you with, and how you crack the case is through 3 things. So firstly, you will receive a case from us, which has been released as of yesterday and is also available on the resources part of the website. You can read through the case and we'll go through it together today, just so you can get the ball rolling with your team. Next, you can build an understanding of MYOB as a business, especially with the case this year, as it is surrounding MYOB and how they can effectively improve the relationship with their customers in the long term. So really understanding MYOB's market, what MYOB does, who they target, will allow you to come up with a better solution. And after that, you can deliver a solution for that case, which can be built into a prototype, which you will have to build a prototype for once you get into the finals. Why take part in the MYOB Digital Challenge? You guys have all decided to sign up, and why should you submit? You're here now. Why make the submission? So there are 4 things that you'll gain out of the MYOB Digital Challenge if you decide to submit, which you really should. It's a chance to win $10,000. So firstly, business skills. When you get a business case that looks at real-world problems for real-world businesses, it makes it easier to really understand how business problems in the real world work and how you can find solutions for them, thinking creatively, understanding the market, understanding the customer, and the different perspectives. Next, presentation skills. Having to take those business insights and solutions that you come up with and turn them into a functional presentation that can display the ideas that you've come up with is also a challenge in itself. It's a communication challenge. And delivering that will allow you to build some presentation skills, which will be useful. Those skills, we will send you the link for your presentation post-submission, and you can post that on your LinkedIn, and that can be showcased in your job interviews in the future, and it can be showcased to employers. So it's an opportunity for you to get your foot in the door to a lot of things that you can try in the future. Next, technical skills. You have to come up with a solution that can be turned into a prototype to make it into the final. And that solution, coming up with a solution like that, requires you to understand what is feasible, what is not feasible, really doing some research and understanding what should be done and what idea can be turned into a product or prototype that can be useful, and what's feasible and what is not, and what humans and computers and how they interact. Finally, your agile and teamwork skills. One of the major things employers look for when they are hiring is, have you worked in a team before? How do you work in a team? Are you able to change your behaviors to work well in a team? And solving a business problem, turning it into a presentation that can become a prototype as well within a team will make sure that you're able to work within a team, be a team player, understand the interactions that you need to take account of to produce the best quality outcome within that team that you're a part of. So I highly recommend making a submission with your team.
So now let's take a look at how the competition is run, its format, and let's look into the timeline as well. So if you are interested in signing up for this competition, which you should be because it's so cool, You can sign up in teams of 2 to 4, or you can register as an individual, and then you'll be allocated into a team. To register, I'll just quickly go through it since we did get a few questions regarding this. You can simply access the UOA Case Club's Instagram page, and you can see the Linktree portal link in the bio. If you click on it, it'll take you right to the portal where you can see the MYOB Digital Challenge registration link. Once you click on there, you can see a page which says New Zealand universities and Australian universities, both of which contain hyperlinks to the sign-up form. And then you can go sign up. Once you've done that, you will then be able to access the case since it's been released, which will show the context and also the problem that you are supposed to solve. And then once you have prepared and created a solution, you will be pitching a 5 to 10 minute video, which will be containing a solution to the case. And you will, in addition to that, you will also be creating a 1-page executive summary, which will basically be summarizing your main points and making it very easy for the reader to quickly get a grasp of what it is that you are trying to communicate via your solution. After you've done that, that will be the preliminary round. The judges will then be selecting the top 3 participants from each region for the final round, and you'll be getting emails regarding this. So in terms of the dates, registrations opened on the 26th of May, and the case was released 3 days ago, and the registrations close on the 26th of June, which is this Wednesday. So I would highly recommend going in and signing up. It only takes around 2 to 3 minutes, max 5 minutes, but make sure that you sign up before they close. After this night, you will then have 3 days to prepare, and then you can solidify any gaps or understanding in your understanding in the tutorial that we'll be having on the 27th of June, where we will be going more in depth into how you can solve the case, how you can approach it, and what past submissions might look like. Then on the 3rd of July, you will be submitting your preliminary round, so your 5 to 10 minute video pitch via an email to us. We will then be finalizing our top participants from all of Australia and New Zealand, and we will then be announcing the top 6 finalists, which will then proceed to the final. Then in the final week, from Wednesday 10th July to Thursday 18th July, you will get 1 week to prepare. And in that week, you will also be lucky enough to receive one-on-one mentorship from seniors at MYOB, which is also a great learning experience. And then you'll have the final where you can basically present your submission video.
Just to add on, we've decided to add 2 more tutorial sessions as well, alongside the one on the 27th, on the 26th too. So they're all drop-in, you can drop in, they'll be 30 minutes each, and you can ask as many questions as you like throughout them.
Right, so with this year's MYOB Digital Challenge, we're really looking for visionary thinkers and technology innovators. So the case is focusing on 3 core areas that are critical to the success and growth of SMEs. So firstly, you can have the first option of SME subscription growth. So this, we're looking at leveraging technology to enhance our SME business management product. And then making them indispensable for businesses. Second choice, you have preventing customer trends. So that is how can you use innovative solutions to strengthen the bond between all stakeholders within the system, like accountants, bookkeepers, and SMEs, thereby reducing churns across the MYOB platforms. And lastly, the third choice is enhancing customer experience. So how can you redefine the customer support of MYOB to deliver not just solutions, but more memorable experiences, which will reinforce the loyalty and satisfaction of MYOB. And so how you will be marked on is based on these 4 elements. So firstly, impact. We're looking at a deep understanding of the chosen area's challenges and a clear, measurable solution that can significantly benefit MYOB and its stakeholders. So how can it shift the dial? And second element, alignment was MYOB values. So embrace was innovation, authenticity, and teamwork in the development and potential implementation of your solutions. Also feasibility, that's whether your plans and your solutions can actually be achieved. That shows a realistic path from the concept to the implementation that considers all technical, operational, and financial aspects of the solutions. And lastly, innovation and uniqueness. So you need to present a fresh approach that really sets apart from the existing solutions. And that needs to be innovative, was emphasized on creative use of technology, was a new business model. So some of the past examples you will be able to find in our website. So for what you need to include in your solutions, firstly, you need to highlight the opportunities and then also have a clear statement of the value proposition of your solution and how can it really benefit MYOB. Secondly, a business model and how you plan to take your product into the market. Thirdly, a financial modeling, some key metrics, how you're gonna measure the success of your project, and a project timeline of when this is achievable. And fourthly, a prototype feature and architecture design. And lastly, working prototype, but this is only be required if you're qualified for the Trans-Tasman final, but it will be great if you can prepare for it ahead if you want, because it's not really required for the preliminary region round. So for the video, you can film it with your phone or a camera, as simple or as fancy you would like. The choice is yours, but it will be uploaded onto YouTube, so you can consider the quality of your video that when it's uploaded. And how to submit. So please upload a video to a file transfer platform, Dropbox, Google Drive, or WeTransfer, whichever is easier for you. And then secondly, email the link and your one-page summary to the email of your UACC's Digital Challenge email. It's also provided in the case, so you'll be able to find that. For the format, very important, please name it as a format that we provided with country, team number, team name, and MYOB Digital Challenge 2024 submission, and include all your team members' name and universities in your one-page summary. And please submit before the deadlines, before the 3rd of July 2024. Late submission will not be considered.
Thank you, Ja. We'll open the floor to questions soon. Just for people that joined later on, the Google form for the raffle is still open, so just drop in and fill in your name. It's at the top of the chat. Just a couple more things to mention. All the details for all the checkpoints of the case, the tutorial, the submission dates, how the case will be run, all the organization is in that case file that your team should have received. If you have not received it yet, if you've signed up in the last couple hours, we'll be sending that over shortly once you're assigned a team. All the details are there. So if you have anything or want to look for anything, they'll be in there, as well as the website. The website will be updated with the next checkpoint at every single point. So if a checkpoint passes, the next one will be on our website homepage, so you can get it there at any time. Additionally, feel free to email us at any point in time. We reply pretty quickly to the emails. Within 1 day, you should get a response. And if you want any advice around the case, any advice around your solution, any advice around even a decision you're making with your case, feel free to email, and we're happy to help at any time. Finally, I think you should really use the opportunity to drop into the drop-in sessions and get some expert advice on your solution to make sure that you do as best as you want to get a chance to crack that $10,000 for that 10-year anniversary of the case. We're now open to questions.
And just before we do have questions, obviously feel free to come off mute or put them in the chat. So I've added our website, the case, and our YouTube channel. So as the team have mentioned, given since COVID we've taken this online, and there's been hundreds of responses over the years, what we will be doing, or what we have done, sorry, is you can see previous submissions and finals. So in terms of having an idea of what other people have submitted and then the actual finals, you can all watch them. Now, I'm not expecting there's quite a few videos there, over 100. You don't need to watch them all, but it will help you. And look, this year we've got over 75 teams. So that's why we're so specific with the information as to, country, team number, team name. We're expecting a number of submissions, obviously, every year. At least sort of 70-80% of the teams do submit great quality, and we need to make sure that between MYOB and UACC that we can identify who all the teams are, because we got to pick 6 out of those, all those submissions. And the one tip that we will repeat throughout, and you will hear it in all the tutorials as well, read the case. So I've already seen some people, and they may be on the call now, join the link for the mentoring times, the tutorials, and not this link. And so they would have obviously read the case and just clicked on the wrong link. It can happen to all of us, but go back and read every single word in every page. And even the first line of the 6 teams that make it to the finals will say, go back and read the regional case, even though you've made it through. So that is the reason why we are elaborating that. Very important. There's a lot of good information. Take advantage of it. Have a look at it, and then you can work out whether it's actually useful to you or not. On the 30-minute drop-in sessions, the mentoring times, the tutorials, there's no set agenda for them. People can come and go. You can attend all of them, one of them, entirely up to you. There'll be different people on the call from MYOB, but it's an opportunity now, after you've digested the case, you've spoken to your team, you may have some ideas to ask some questions, and get an idea of whether you're on the right path or not. Some questions we won't be able to answer if we think that's, giving the game away. But we will just let you know. And as the team have mentioned, you can email them, you can email MYOB. Again, we'd rather you ask the question. There's no silly questions. They're not. We're here to help as much as we can, but ultimately, obviously, it's up to you guys to solve the case. So I see there's a couple of comments that have come through, which we can now go through.
So we can start from the top with the one relating to differentiating this competition from similar innovation challenges at university, like specifically at the University of Auckland, like Summer Lab and Velocity. So this competition has this, Pradeep, it specifically has a case. So these other competitions are quite open. You can choose what you would like to do. This competition is very specific. You get a case. You have steps organized for you, so you can come up with a solution in relation to the problems outlined within the case. If you take a look at the case and read through, you'll see that you really have focus areas that you really need to focus on in order to come up with the right solution. So yeah. I've added the raffle form in chat again, if you guys want to take a look at it. In terms of the prizes for the competition, so people within the in the finals will have access to that $10,000 prize pool. We may do some spot prizes throughout for all submissions. Every participant in the competition will receive a digital certificate that they've participated, and everyone in the finals will also receive a certificate that they've made it to the finals. This is a question for you, Shalan. It's a bit more complex. If a solution can help all the areas, for example, better customer experiences, decreasing churn, increasing subscription growth, is that a better solution? Or are we just looking for one solution which is focused on one area only?
Yeah. So pick one. Again, go back and read the case. I appreciate the question at this stage, but select one, and there's a reason for that. We don't want you to solve all the world's problems, so you don't just solve all three of the areas that we have highlighted in terms of helping MYOB. So yes, great if it can apply to all of them, but focus on one. And really, you start broad, but now, narrow in, and especially those that make it to the finals, you just don't have the time to solve everything. And especially then when you get to the final, you'll be presented for 10 minutes and 10 minutes Q&A. Utilize that time, really nail either the subscriptions or the customer churn or the customer experience. And again, in terms of the actual solution, in terms of innovation, doesn't mean it has to be complex. It can be quite simple. And you can see, most innovations tend to be just, they do what they need to do in terms of solving. And then I see there's a question, does the solution have to be a whole new product or add new value or function to MYOB's existing services? It can be a new way of doing something that's already been done, a new way of doing a process or helping support a process. So it doesn't have to be completely new. It can be a new way of doing something. So yeah, don't solve all the problems, focus on the one. And in terms of innovation, it can be extending on what you've already seen, and or a different way of solving that problem to another product or service that may be in market.
So the next question is relating to the submission, and that's relating to the content of the video and if it should repeat the one-page summary or should they complement one another. So ideally, you would make your presentation first and have your solution outlined within that presentation, and then you'd break it down into a one-page summary, which sort of signposts that video that you've made and signposts all the steps that you've gone through and gives a summary of it. So it's more of a summary of that video. So they are essentially the same content on both. The next question is, if one member does not answer, can you have another member assigned for the group? Yes, just feel free to email us, and we are shifting teams around as fast as we can. We just move members over to different teams when we are able to. So yes, we can add members to your team.
And so on that point, look, obviously a number of people have joined up as individuals and been put into teams. Please communicate. If you're not interested in continuing, that's fine. Just let the team know, not a problem. And teams that are, they might have 4 members, 1 drop out, if they're happy to continue with 3 or even 2. And there's not necessarily a huge disadvantage or an advantage either way. So a team a couple of years ago, I believe they were in University of New South Wales. 2 members never met, only 2 were put together and came second in the whole competition. Right, so well, not too sure if you guys can recall. You've got the music X Factors and things like that, where they put the band, the team members together to create the bands, like One Direction. Basically, that could be you guys as well. That obviously entered as individuals. So yeah, look. Make sure you communicate with your team so that you can work together. And ultimately, again, you have as good a chance as anyone to be successful in the competition.
Mm-hmm. Just to reiterate what Shilan said, lots of people who have registered in teams of 2, 3, and 4. So there's a range. There's no disadvantage of having a team of 2, 3, or 4. It's all the same. It doesn't make a difference. It's more about the solution you come up with and how much effort you put in. Okay, on to the next question. So the next question is quite specific. It's in relation to the market, and is it too competitive at the moment? And does the team need to find more innovative products to attract the consumers?
No, look, again, while you're doing your research and working out what you're going to focus on, etc., you'll be able to answer your own question essentially. But yeah, not more to add to that.
Yeah, an argument can be made for either. So I think you should do a lot of research and decide a direction to go in based on the research you make. The next question is, as part of your solution, can we touch on areas outside of MYOB's scope / speciality? For example, tax, finance, and accounting. Can you go outside of those?
So those fall into our speciality.
Yep.
But yeah, look, you can. Again, I think if there's something else that can help enhance our platform, then yeah, by all means, do consider it. But then, make sure it relates back to those 3 particular areas.
So the next question is in relation to a slide that passed. The Thursday of 27th of June was about a mentoring session. I think I mentioned verbally afterwards that we've decided to go with 3 different drop-in mentoring sessions, 30 minutes each. They'll be on the 26th and 27th as outlined within the case.
And yeah, you can attend all 3 of them. One of them, up to you. You can attend for 10 minutes of each of them. Again, like I said, there's no agenda. It's quite clear on there. Participants drop in and out as you choose. And my advice is you can come and just listen. That's fine, not a problem. They're open. Unlike when we get to the final, the Trans-Tasman final, they'll be one-on-one mentoring for the 6 final teams. But basically, come armed with some questions if you're going to come. If you don't need them, then don't turn up. It's not, you're not going to get penalized or anything like that. They're purely ask questions, clarify any queries, come and drop in. Simple as that.
Next question. Is it like an assignment format? Do you have to write a reference list? No, you do not have to write a reference list. You should make sure that the ideas are unique to yourself. You should think of the ideas yourself. They shouldn't be ideas that are already existent within the market. Sometimes that's very easy to catch out, and you don't want to go through the competition giving in someone else's ideas and then getting caught for it. It's not ideal. So yeah, you don't have to write a reference list. Just make sure you come up with all the ideas on your own.
And even there, just a great point. So a winning team previously had a great solution, but the actual name that they came up with was from a company in another part of the world. So even the company name that you come up with might be a different solution, whatever. Just have a quick Google, basically, and just make sure that there isn't anything out there. Not too sure if this was answered. There was another question about our group wants to know if MYBs currently have any, or did we answer that one in terms of the MYBs currently have any specific problem about consumers or competition?
Ooh, I don't think
okay.
Yeah. Part of the question.
Yeah. So do you think that the market is too competitive at the moment, or do we need to find a more innovative products to attract the consumers? Look, in Australia and New Zealand, this accounting software market is very competitive. You've obviously got MYOB, our big competitor Xero, and there's some other players as well, depending on the size of the business. So that's one of the reasons why we do this challenge. It is a competitive market, and we're looking for the best and brightest to come up with some solutions and some ideas on that. I've already mentioned in terms of innovation, doesn't have to be new, and be a new way of doing something, an extension of what we may have, something that we may not have considered, or we may have even considered it, but we haven't gone to market. So then obviously, it's still within our development stage. Those 3 areas that we are focusing on are current problems for MYB or challenges. We obviously want growth. Any business does. We don't want to lose customers. So once any business that acquires a customer doesn't want it to churn. And especially now, customer experience is so important. Right? If not all consumers, when they want it, how they want it, on this device, on that device, etc. And they know what experience they want. So basically, the question that you've asked here is answered within the case and the problem that we have put forward.
Sweet. Next question. This question is relating to when people are delivering their pitch. Should they pitch to our customers, the small to medium enterprises, or internally to MYOB as a solution for MYOB as a business?
So this would be pitching to MYB. It's quite closely aligned to MYB. But again, you can, if you feel that it's more in line to pitch to an SME directly, there's no problem with that either.
Sweet. And another question relating to, I'll just read it out. Can we split between the proportion of recurring consumers and new consumers? Also, can we also know which one has a higher growth rate between those two?
So again, I would say pick one. So either go for the subscriptions growth, or then protecting the preventing the customer churn. And so again, splitting it also just makes it complicated, I would say. And then you're trying to solve two things as opposed to one. And they're equally important. So actually, we had a call today, funnily enough, about this. And to MYB, it's just as important getting new customers as keeping the ones that we have. And essentially, if we do both right, that means that overall our business and our market share is going to grow. Because if you just have new customers, but you're losing your old ones, then your net growth is zero. So they're equally important. Yeah, the presentation part is done, so you are free to leave if you want. No one is holding you here.
Yep, but the raffle will be done at the end. So if you are the winner, we will contact you through your email at
the end. They're nice. I would have said redraw if you're not on the call. So you're lucky, Ali.
Next question. How do we know the solution or the idea is not already implemented in MYOB? As I am not using the service, hence I believe I won't be able to know all what we already deliver as MYOB.
And look, we're not expecting you to become MYB experts within the next week. But again, have a look at the website, get an idea of our business management platform. There's a number of resources online. But yeah, look, don't worry too much about that. That's also why the tutorial sessions can come in handy about asking these summer things. But again, do a little bit of research, go onto our website, get an idea of where we're at. But you don't know our roadmap, our development roadmap. We're obviously not going to share that, etc. So yeah, again, don't worry too much about that. As long as you've done enough, your due diligence, you'll be able to work out what our wheelhouse is, and then where you can look to focus.
The next question is in relation to the one-page executive summary. Can you extend the dimensions as much as possible, or is there a restriction? Feel free to go directly to the borders of the one-page summary. It's a digital file, so it's fine. But just to iterate, it's not about how much information you put on that one-page summary. It's about the ideas themselves. You can be concise with your ideas and deliver them in an amazing way that makes sure that your ideas are delivered to the person that's marking, that's looking through, and communicated clearly without filling that page with as much text as possible. It's more about delivering those ideas clearly and making sure that the person that's reading it understands them than putting as much information as possible on that page.
It's the same with the video. It's 5 to 10 minutes.
Yep.
10 minutes doesn't mean better than 5 or 5 better than 10 or 7 wins basically. So obviously when it comes to the finals, you do have 10 minutes to present. We recommend you utilize that 10 minutes completely when you're speaking to our executives and an external judge that we're very close to confirming from another organization. But essentially with this, it's right. What are you focusing? What is the problem? What is your solution? How does it solve that problem? And have you focused, covered off some of the other areas that all the other areas that we've highlighted? Your one-page summary, again, simple. It's one page. But also, you don't have to be size 50 font or size 5. font. Just make it standard, font that most people would use, so that we can read it. And again, with the video, yeah, decent quality so people can see what you're presenting. But we're not expecting Steven Spielberg type movies here. No one's winning an Oscar, that is for sure. So again, you could just jump on a Zoom call and hit record. It's pretty simple, but those that want to go a little bit further, push the button, by all means. But again, you'll see by the YouTube channel, the vast majority are using some sort of video conferencing platform and hitting record.
Sweet. There are currently no more questions in the chat. If anyone would like to ask any questions, feel free to turn your mic on or pop them in the chat. We'll go until 8:15. If there are no questions by 8:15, we'll do the raffle and then we'll choose our winner. I'll share the screen and then we can go through it. Sweet. I'll set it up while we're waiting for any questions for 8:15. Sweet. There's one more question. For presenting the video about our idea, is it recommended to do slides? Any specifics on that?
Yeah, if not all, have had some sort of presentation, so that we can see what you're doing. So again, refer back to the YouTube channel and you can see most people will have, if not all. And that's the easiest way to showcase obviously your solution for the problem that you have provided. Any specifics on that? Again, whether you use PowerPoint, Canva, or I don't know what else, doesn't really matter. It can be as fancy as you want it, or as simple. The most important, what is the problem? What is your solution? How does it solve that problem? How you want to present that is entirely up to you. Are there any developments in the works already at MYOB that we should be aware of? Again, everything that is in the public domain, you can be aware of. There's nothing else that we can, or I have to share in terms of that. But this is, very much in terms of the case, probably the one of the most aligned to MYOB as there has been for a while. So we usually mix it up. Sometimes it's nothing to do with MYOB, and sometimes it is. But this is, given the economic conditions and also the competitive nature that we are in terms of the industry that we're in. This is very important, and I know that our executives are going to be very interested to see what you guys come up with. So the last link I'll put in here is our blog that has some comments from Emma Fawcett, our general manager for SME, who's a first-time judge, and Caroline Rollinson, who is our chief operating officer, and she has been the judge the last 3 years. So you've got sort of one rookie and one very much a veteran. So again, give you an idea of some of the things that they're looking for that you can read in the blog.
Sweet. It looks like we have no more questions. On to the bit you've all been waiting for, the raffle. Sure. Sweet. This is the raffle with everyone's name that signed up to the form. I'll go ahead and click. Just to remind you, you're in for a $100 Prezi card. Congratulations, Lily. We'll contact you through your email so that you can receive your gift card. Sweet. We'll now close. Thank you everyone for coming today. Thank you, Shailin, for being here. Thank you, Devika. Thank you, Ja. Yeah, I hope you guys submit. It's a great opportunity for you to progress your skills, to progress for your job interviews, to progress your creative thinking, your business knowledge, all the stuff we've discussed today. So yeah, thank you. And feel free, of course, to email us at any time to ask questions.